Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. We've got another fantastic interview for you guys today with a really interesting singer-songwriter, Brigitte Rios Purdy. I'm really excited to talk to Brigitte today. Before we get started here, I'd like to thank a couple of sponsors. I'd like to thank Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine. That is pplmag.com. Pittsburgh's first internet, radio, TV network, and online community magazine and business directory. Go to pplmag.com. You can listen, watch, download, and participate in all kinds of different audio and video programs that are there. Great place for businesses to promote themselves, and a great place to get a lot of great information, like the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. We are one of the podcasts there, so you definitely want to check that out. Also, for those of you who are local to the Pittsburgh area and you're thirsty, you go on to check out McNeely Beer. That's at 441 McNeely Road, Pittsburgh, or 412-563 Beer. Pittsburgh's new home for the best selection of domestic, import, and craft beer. We are a six-pack bottle shop located in the heart of the South Hills. Pride ourselves on personal, knowledgeable customer service, fantastic selection, and hard-to-beat prices. If you're in internet land, just go to mcneelybeer.com. Now, this young lady that I have here on the line is her and I have been chatting on social media, probably for close to a year now. This is Brigitte Rios Purdy. She was born and raised in Los Angeles. From an early age, her family cultivated her artistry by immersing her in the rich sounds of blues and gospel. Her father was a blues guitarist and would often showcase her talents at family gatherings. At the tender age of 5, she was handpicked by the choir director to perform her first solo at the age of 5. Imagine that. By the age of 13, her mother heard an announcement on the radio for auditions at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Brigitte competed against hundreds of young hopefuls for a chance to enter the Dorothy Chandler Conservatory. She was selected and subsequently trained by the best in the business. Brigitte, welcome to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much for having me today.
It's my pleasure to sit down and talk to you. So we touched a little bit on your musical upbringing, but what really, was it primarily your father that really got you interested in the sort of blues and soul type of music?
I think I was just born to sing blues or soul music because I just naturally gravitated to it, as many people do, because it's such a heartfelt music. It's something that you cannot see or maybe identify or put your finger on it because it's not tangible, but it's something definitely that you feel. And once you're struck with that feeling, it overwhelms you, and it's something that you just don't want to let go of. You just continue wanting more and more. So I was thirsty for the blues or soul music and R&B, So I kind of sought after it, and it kind of sought after me at the same time, if that makes any sort of sense.
Right. No, I get it. They say that music is one of those things that, sort of chooses you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. What I like is this B.B. King quote, and he said, people will ask him why the blues, and he said, because the blues and I were bleeding the same blood. So. Yeah. Wow. That's well. Speaking of people that you like, influences. Who are some of your influences, Brigitte? Well, I have just a wide variety of different influences. One of my all-time favorite singers is Aretha Franklin, and she just floors me every time. I've seen her many times live, and each time I've just left sobbing throughout the whole entire performance. I mean, really, there's no depth to her soul. She's just one of the most incredible singers that I've ever seen live, and I've seen many live, many. Others are Gladys Knight, and then you and I had kind of chatted a little bit about Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was so way ahead of her time as far as, that edgy rock and then that funk feel behind her, and just mixing those two genres, and just incredibly sexy, and, she was Miles Davis's wife.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't that familiar with her, but has influenced a lot of people. I mean, people like Josh Stone, have talked about, the importance of Betty Davis as well. And she lives in Pittsburgh.
Oh, she does.
She's a Pittsburgh girl, yeah.
And I told you that I had met her, right?
Yeah. Tell us that. No. That's great. That's awesome. Tell the audience this story, because this is a great story.
It is a really interesting story. So I was singing, and it was kind of a black tie event, and very formal. And I noticed this gorgeous lady as I was singing, just moving and really feeling the music and getting into it. So I was naturally drawn to her and her movement. And in the middle, I saw they had a tambourine, and I just, I had cordless, and I walked over to her and I handed it to her. And I just continued to sing my set. And when I was done, I went to go retrieve the tambourine, and I said, she said, that she enjoyed my music, and I said, I really enjoyed watching you just feel the music. And I said, may I ask you, what's your name? And she said, my name is Betty Davis. And it just really didn't click at that time.
Uh-huh.
And she says, I was married to the late, great Miles Davis. And I just literally just fell to my knees. I was so floored. So it was quite a moment. It's, so historical.
That's a great story. But you've actually gotten to share the stage with some pretty cool performers as well. Can you talk a little bit about some of the people you've got the chance to work with over the years?
Okay. Well, growing up as a kid, I was also in this kind of like a singing group, and it was called Rock Theater, and we would travel in LA and doing various different programs. And some of the people that we performed with were Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and Marilyn McCoo and just a whole bunch of different people. They would bring us on as special guest artists, at the time. So I was very, very fortunate to not just grow up in LA, but just also to kind of be put in the forefront of some of the programs and some of the things that I was able to do at such a young age.
But you went on and you worked with some other people too. Like, I'm looking at your bio here. Is this something about you worked with Hal Davis?
I worked with Hal Davis, and he was amazing. And one of the most important things and he's from Motown. He wrote the song "I'll Be There" for Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that kind of stuck out in my mind that he had communicated with me during my song and singing, he said, when you're singing, you got to hear that cry, and it's true. If you listen to certain people's voices, and then when it touches you, you can feel that cry. You can hear that cry in their voice. So that just left an imprint on my brain and on my heart, and just the way in my delivery of song to make it, to have that depth.
And now, where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from living a life and interacting with people and your joys and your sorrows and just all the different emotions that we have. That just being able to convey that message through song. I love to read about different artists, and I love biographies. And one of the things that Ella Fitzgerald had said was, I can tell you something and you can hear it, but if I sing it to you, you'll understand.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
That right there is a powerful message about music and about it's communicating to other people. It's more than a gift. It's a means of communication, of touching people's hearts and souls. So, it's one thing to sing on the surface level, and it's another thing to dig really deep.
What do you do to dig deep? You're working on something. You're right. Like, where do you go? Like, how do you get to that place?
I go back to my life and what I know. We base, it's an Oprah thing too. It's like you do what you know. I can only do what I know and what I've lived. So once again, I just tapped into my personal experiences and the things that I want to convey to people.
Now, you also did something that I have to ask you about this. You also did something very cool. You worked with Paul Rogers.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit how you got involved with that and what that was all about.
Well, I was just lucky. I was in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
Seriously, it's so Hollywood. It's such a Hollywood cliche story. I was in the right place in the right time, and a friend of mine that I had been working with for quite some time in a singing group, all-female girl group, asked me if I wanted to do background vocals with her for him, and I said sure. And that's kind of how it all rolled out. And we did the song Muddy Water Blues, which is highly gospel influenced as far as the background vocals. And Slash was also on that tour. Sugarfoot on drums. And so, I was lucky. I just was lucky because there's so many talented people in LA. And like I said, it was just a cliche story. I was in the right place at the right time and knew the right person.
Okay. All right. But you're also, in addition to being an amazing vocalist, and you guys out there who are listening, if you listen to the March 5th music podcast that Kevin and I did, we did play Brigitte, so you can check that out. You can hear what we're talking about here. But you're also a songwriter. Now, talk to us a little bit about how you approach songwriting.
Well, I can tell you about how I wrote Lucille.
Okay. Well, let's tell everybody what Lucille is,
okay,
so they know what it. Explain that to everybody what this is all about.
So Lucille is a tribute to B.B. King, and it's written from the perspective of his guitar. And basically, what I did was I was sitting there mourning, just as so many people were, over the loss of B.B. King. And I had always wanted to see him live, but unfortunately never had the opportunity. And I started thinking about Lucille. I was thinking, well, what if she was a real woman? How would she feel? How would she be mourning? What would she say if she could speak? Because music, to me, is a true love affair. Anybody who is a musician can really understand what I'm saying. I mean, at times you love it, and at times you don't love it so much. So, and just like any relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And so I started thinking about, because I used to play guitar a long time ago, and I thought, what would I do? What's the thing you do when you pick up a guitar? Well, you wrap your arms around it. What do you do with a woman? You wrap your arms around it. What else is like a woman? Her neck. Run your fingers up and down her neck. And he used to bend the guitar strings and make her moan. So those words just kind of they just came out. It was just something. I really believe that song was meant to be born. Because I sat down with a friend of mine, Dave Osby. We collaborate on it. And another friend of mine, his name is Drake Shining. And within 1/2 hour, we wrote that song.
So it came out fast.
It just rolled out. That song was meant to be born. So I would say each song is different. So, each song has a different perspective. So you would have to go to, like you say, what place do you go to? Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if it would be joy, then it could be a joyful moment that happened in my life. But it always has to be based around truth and honesty and vulnerability and being genuine. Because if it's not, then it doesn't have the depth. It doesn't have the soul.
Now, you have a few songs out. Well, you can get Lucille on, what's that website? CD Baby.
Yes, CD Baby.
Now, but you are in the process of doing an entire a full-length record?
Sure. Uh-huh.
Now tell us about that. Who's on it? Who are you working with? Tell us all about it.
Okay. So one of the other songs that I did was "I Just Want to Make Love to You," which is an old Willie Dixon song.
Right.
And it kind of has more of a rock edge, and it's pretty bold from the female perspective. Other versions of it are a little more swing and cutesy, but this one is kind of like in your face. Would you agree?
Yes. That was the track that we played, actually, on the March 5th thing, because it was so in your face. I loved it.
Okay, great. And it's pretty bold for a woman to take that stance. It's like, oh, no, listen to me. That's it. I just want to make love to you, right?
Right.
Okay, and then the other song, Shot Heard Round the World, was also a collaboration with Dave Osti. And it actually was a song that he had already kind of had been putting together, and I added to it. And that song was kind of like the sassy side of me, because I can be pretty sassy, and
okay.
I just letting all my secrets out, and so that one was also kind of bold from a female perspective. As far as a man, my favorite line in that song, a cute kind of funky, pretty, and then it's kind of like a man trying to kind of dupe a woman. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it's kind of like, I'm on to you. You think you're playing the game, but it takes a participant to play with you, and I'm not going to be playing that game. And then my other favorite line in there is the ultimate slam on a man. I'm sorry, man, I do love you, but the ultimate would be, 'cause you're a pretty boy. And no man wants to be called a pretty boy, right?
Right.
So anyways, it was just fun and sassy and just kind of, out there. And it's also very funky.
Yeah.
Very funky. So that was fun to collaborate. That was a fun song to do with the horns and everything.
You have three, so how's the album shaping up? Is this going to be mostly original music? Or are you going to be doing more remakes of blues tunes, or how's it shaping up?
It's going to be mostly original tunes. There's different people who, fans or other people, radio DJs, who have been asking to do some older blues tunes. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably going to consider some of those. The next song that I'm working on is called "What I Wouldn't Do for Love." And it's just a great funky kind of Al Green kind of throwback type of song.
Okay.
So it's going to be great.
And what is when do you think we're going to see your record going to be done?
The big sigh. The thing about it is I want to make sure that I'm putting out quality material.
Right.
So I don't want to rush it.
Of course.
So, and all the right players are coming into place on it. And so it's something that I really don't want to rush. What I wouldn't do for love would be the fourth song, and then I'm working also on the fifth song. So I have a few more to go.
So you're in the process of you're like writing and kind of like, so what do you do? Like you write and then you record it, then you write and you're not like going to sit down and write all the material that and then do it. You're sort of recording as you come up with the songs. Is that how you're doing it?
Just kind of one baby at a time.
Okay.
Just kind of one baby at a time.
I understand.
That way it's focused. It's not chaotic, and it just, and I'm taking my time, and I want to do it right.
So you're working on the record. Are you playing out? Are you doing any shows?
I'm working on getting some gigs, and I have some upcoming things, and I'll be posting all those all over social media. But I have a couple things a couple irons in the frying pan.
Okay, good. How can people find you and catch up with you and with everything you have going on?
Okay, well, I do have my website, and my website is www.BridgetteRiosPurdy.com.
You there?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay, you kind of trail off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's BridgetteRiosPurdy.blogspot.com. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
And if you guys go to that website, there's right at the very top is the link to the CD Baby page where you can purchase Lucille, Don't You Weep.
Yes, and my other songs too. You can purchase Shot Heard Around the World, and then and also the I Just Want to Make Love to You.
So right now we can get 3 from you.
Exactly.
Excellent. So anything else you want to add or tell the folks about before we wrap up here?
I've been very blessed to be in a couple of different magazines this year that I'd like to also, support. One of them is Bluesy News, and it's a fabulous magazine. And another one is also Con Alma de Blues in Argentina. And it's a great magazine and a wonderful interview. You can read both of those, and you can find them online. And it's been a whirlwind. Everything, interviews and magazines and people wanting to hear my music. It's just been unbelievable to me.
Well, congratulations! And I think when the record comes out, when you have the full-length record, I think you're going to see it go even further, because then you'll have stuff you can send out to, magazines, internet magazines, and regular magazines to get, like, reviews and things like that, too. So that'll take you to a whole new level, too. So looking forward to it. Brigitte is very talented, folks, so please you definitely want to check out everything that she has going on. And they can follow you on social media as well, correct?
Yes, exactly. I have my Instagram and I have my Facebook, and so you can follow me all over the place.
Hey, we're gonna do a little. We're gonna wrap up here, but we're gonna come back. Hang on the line, Brigitte, and we're gonna do a little bonus question with you. Just sit tight here. We're gonna wrap up the official part of it right here. Hey guys, okay, cool. Guys, you've been listening to the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. If you like interviews like this and you like these kind of artists, please go to LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com, where you can listen to. I think we have something like 108 episodes up, interviews and music podcasts as well. New interview comes out every Wednesday. And every Saturday is a new music podcast, LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com. I'd like to thank one more time our sponsors, Positively Pittsburgh Live Magazine, PPLMag.com. And if you're in the Pittsburgh area, McNeelyBeer.com. That is 412-563-BEER. Guys, once again, LoudiniRockandRollCircus.com for all your Loudini needs. And please visit Bridgette's website. It's BridgetteRiosPurdy.blogspot.com. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.